Hello and welcome back to the Truffle Show. I am Chef Kate Holmes, the Chief Truffle Chef at Sabatino, here to give you the inside scoop on this incredible culinary delicacy, the truffle. Now truffles, this is a summer truffle. It's a nice, big, beautiful one. It smells amazing. It has this intoxicating, earthy, nutty quality. And they're incredible. And it's so truffles, they're a mushroom that are rare and they grow underground on the roots of trees. Now this makes them scarce, and their scarcity combined with their intoxicating flavor makes them very highly sought after. They're perishable, they're expensive, they're incredible, but there's also a lot of incredible products that we can use with truffle to experience truffle. Now, today, I'm going to talk about truffle honey. I'm super excited, so I want to start with a libation, and I wanted to make an old-fashioned. Now, this is one that we like to make here. I think the truffle honey whiskey, bourbons, that pairing is amazing. They play nice together, so what we do here is make a simple syrup and finish it with truffle honey. Now, simple syrup is generally it's equal parts sugar to water and boiled and dissolved. But you don't want to put heat on anything with truffle because it'll diminish the flavor. So I do 1-to-1 sugar to water, boil it, and as it's starting to cool, add a couple tablespoons of truffle honey and let it dissolve. And it's amazing. And because if you put the honey right in there, it doesn't dissolve well. It's like not, the ice or whatever, it's bad. So we're gonna put a little bit of simple syrup in. Oop, that's probably a lot. And let's see, I'll put this over here. And some Kentucky bourbon, yes. And then my bitters. These are black lemon bitters. Sometimes I have orange, but they're nice, high quality bitters. Shake that guy up, yes. Here we go. Okay. Shake, shake, shake. We're gonna have this guy neat so we can really taste all the flavors. Don't want it to dilute too much. So I have an orange peel and a cherry. I went for double. You don't have to have both, but I did. So the truffle really comes out. The honey flavor is amazing. And you really can smell the orange and the cherry and all those florals and the aromatic truffle. They really play nice together. So let me tell you, I made it very sweet, but it's Tuesday afternoon. Actually, if you are joining us live, it's July 2nd. So, I would love to know, if you're tuning in, I'd love to know in the comments where you're tuning in from. Are you still at work, or are you traveling? Maybe you're on the road, maybe you're in the car, and you're like, oh my God, I'd love to have one of those right now because the kids are in the back, I don't know, I'd love to hear it. So we're getting excited, and that's why it's really fun to talk about the truffle honey, because you might be planning some hors d'oeuvres, some entertaining. So let's talk about a bunch of different food. Now to start out, look at this adorable jar. We make this honey. Look at this. I mean, there's pieces in there. It's so beautiful. So honey it's made from the pollen and the nectar that bees collect as they're pollinating. And the flavor and the color can vary greatly depending on where the bees get the pollen from. We use generally a clover honey, and it's on the lighter side, not so sweet. And we like this because it doesn't completely overpower, coupled with dried summer truffle and truffle extract, and a little bit of sour acidity on the finish, and it provides the most incredibly balanced ingredient. And there's no additives. There's really no limitations to what you can do for honey, other than give it to 1-year-old babies. They can't have it. Don't worry about it. It's not good for them. Their little tummies can't handle it. Just don't. But other than that, honey is actually very good for you. It has antioxidants and anti-inflammatory properties. They're called polyphenols and flavonoids. And they're good for your heart, they lower cholesterol. But that being said, you have to really consume a lot. And I'm not telling you to. This is not a health commercial for honey. I'm just saying that if you're gonna add sweetener to anything, why not add something that has a little bit of health benefit versus like a totally processed sweetener, right? Totally. So this jar is so cute, right? And it could go on a cheese board, like take this off. You don't even have to decant this into something else, like pop a little wooden spoon in here, nestle it in with your cheeses and meats, and that's amazing. But it's not the only place. So I think it's really easy to be like, yeah, I know truffle honey. It's so great with charcuterie, it's so great with cheese, the rich, salty, it's so good. Yes, totally true, but we're taking it beyond the board today. So one thing that truffle honey, because the truffle addition to the honey is so great, is it can add a touch of savory to a dish that might otherwise be trending towards sweet when you don't want it to be. Like take these peach and burrata crostinis, for instance. This is like so something I'm gonna have at my 4th of July party this weekend. And with the peach and the sweet cream burrata, it's an appetizer, but it does trend on the sweeter side. So I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna drizzle this right over the top. And you've got next level. I mean, it's gorgeous, right? That's gorgeous. I love that. I'm gonna leave that right here. And now, another thing you're probably thinking about is that hot honey is having a moment. Now, hot and honey and truffle. That is incredible. So if you haven't had hot honey on your avocado toast, let me tell you, you are in for a massive treat. Now, you can go right onto it, or we can just hot this up. We can spice it up, add a little heat, crush red, right in there. Stir that guy up, and we have some truffle hot honey. So awesome. So this is like, oh my gosh, amazing. Yes, so pretty, so pretty. I'll dive in later so that's incredible. And another thing so a lot of times there's like a very, very salty, savory dish, and that's when we can really think, add some sweetness in there, round it out, add our truffle flavor. So you're probably thinking of fried chicken and waffles. I know I am. Hot honey, regular truffle honey. Look at this, all the truffle, all the honey. Now, here's one version, and my secret weapon for like a fun cocktail party, I take the waffle, cut it into like a delicious little bite right there, and then put the little chicken on top, and you have a canapé that's also a fried chicken and waffle. So good. So we're gonna do these guys up, right? This is a restaurant item right here. That is brunch. That is some serious girl brunch right there. And if you're barbecuing this weekend for the 4th, why not add some truffle honey to the wings, right? Whether or not they're just dry rubbed or they already have some barbecue, add some truffle honey, so good. The smoky, savory, salty, it balances, it rounds it out, it's so good. And also, just to take this outside the box a little bit, like anytime there's a lot of different ways we like to incorporate honey, right, into our food. And this is also gonna help you when you get to the end of the jar. So this here is my last truffle honey, and I was saving it because I was like, you know what? I like to add honey to vinaigrettes, especially when I'm making a salad that has like pretty robust flavors. It gives it some extra panache. And I'm making this salad. This is actually a really good summer salad that I love for parties because it's actually like, it's not just like a side salad, it's a little bit more robust. This is Tuscan kale and bread cubes, slightly toasted and seasoned. And this is gonna make a panzanella, which is, you know, it's got the bread, it just absorbs, so the perfect vessel to really taste our truffle honey vinaigrette, as well as be a nice light, bright salad that you can munch on. So check this out. So we have our jar. Jars are perfect for making vinaigrettes in. It's always nice to add a little Dijon to a vinaigrette because that helps the oil and the vinegar emulsify. So go for that. And then red wine vinegar, I have sherry, something delicious, not too crazy, but all of that. And then our oil and dun dun dun, ready made, not wasting anything. Shaking face. See, we're getting it all out of the bottom. Yes. And if you don't use all of it, you've got it. Just save in your fridge, right? So good. And like so this, honestly, when I make like a honey vinaigrette, I love the pairing of celery. Celery is like kind of underrated. And if you slice it really nice and elegant, it's actually quite delicious. And I pair this with Parmesan cheese, nice big pieces, nice big shaved parm, and some diced up salami. Yes. And we'll put a little bit more of our vinaigrette on top. And when you do a panzanella, it's nice to let it sit for a little bit. In fact, I meant to mention, when you work with kale, add some salt a little early on so that it starts to kind of work it down a little bit because kale's a little burly and it needs a little love. Needs some time, needs some love. So this is my beautiful truffle honey vinaigrette panzanella. Now, these are all great, but it is 4th of July, lest you forget. And I know that you're seeing a lot of flag food items out there. Generally, they're desserts. And I know we were talking about going beyond the board, but I have something really exciting. Individual flag charcuterie plates. I mean, how cute. Blueberries, blue cheese, Vermont cheddar for the United States, and salami. These ones, I have a couple others with sopressata. I mean, that's a fun new iteration of flag food, right? I love it. So, without further ado, we're gonna truffle honey this up and serve away. Serve away, treat yourself, treat your guests. Have a happy 4th of July. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the truffle honey.